And welcome into Two Ball Guys on the right. Will Rooney is live from the dungeon somewhere in what part of Hobbs would that be? Can we even mention Hobbs? I mean, it sounds better if I say from some exotic island, but no, there's somewhere Fiji, maybe. Who knows? So yeah, this show is going to be a little different because usually we're a little bit more prepared. But I'm just getting in, and Will's had things to do. But I'm just getting in from the doctor in Lubbock, so we're going to do this thing pretty much live. If you want to comment, we're going to allow that, right? People can comment, question, do all of that. So if they want to, yeah, most definitely comment and talk to us directly, ask questions, whatever is the case. So, Michelle Lujan Gresham today. I'm going to touch on a couple things about the Day of Prayer. Day of Prayer is we are still a Christian nation. I know the number has gone down a little bit, but I think we're still over 70% of people that identify as Christians. And today was the Day of Prayer. And by the way, if you're Muslim or any other, you can still pray. I mean, so they would be included in the Day of Prayer. But our governor didn't post anything on Facebook. I don't know if she attended the event that State Senator David Gallegos talked to us about this morning on Being the Breakfast Club. I don't know if the governor was there, but she did not. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, so the Day of Prayer, she doesn't post anything on her Facebook as I went back and looked. And Biden admitted one word. Joe Biden, the president of the United States, did something that no other president has ever done at a Day of Prayer event. He omitted one word from the Day of Prayer. And isn't, yeah, all the buttons. So now,
I'll deal with the feedback.
now you're on all the buttons. Is that
I'll deal with feedback.
um anyway, Joe Biden admitted God from his speech. He omitted God from the speech. And it's a day of prayer. So
Kind of important. That's like I think that's the most important word there is, isn't it?
yeah, so that is that's just that is just kind of crazy that, and by the way, it was virtual. It was virtual because you can't gather. I mean, come on. Even though the CDC said that it was fine to gather outdoors, New Mexico won't listen to the CDC, and evidently Biden's not even listening to his own people. So, whatever. But today, Governor Gresham let us know that New Mexico can breathe easier. I'm wondering.
Thank you for that,
Yeah,
Governor.
thank you. I was wondering if she can actually breathe for me, because the government wants to do everything for us. So I was just wondering if she can breathe for us. So she released this statement, and it says New Mexicans can breathe easier knowing that we are taking significant action to improve the air quality in our state today, unveiling the second set of rules to cut emissions from the oil and gas industry and the communities that need it most. So here's what the governor had to say. If you can hang with us for like 1 minute, here's what the governor had to say.
New Mexicans can breathe easier knowing that present and future generations will have cleaner air. Today, we unveiled the second in a set of complementary rules that will significantly reduce emissions from the oil and gas industry. When implemented, this rule will eliminate over 260 million pounds of air pollution annually. That's like taking 8 million gas guzzling vehicles off the road every year. Now, this rule is the result of a collaborative state effort to protect your right to breathe clean air. Our most vulnerable populations, children and seniors, as well as communities of color, are more significantly negatively impacted from poor air quality. The level of collaboration involved is unprecedented. State agencies, concerned citizens, industry leaders, and environmental groups are coming together to make sure that these regulations are the very best they can be. It's strong and it's innovative, and these oil and gas rules will protect our family's health and our environment for generations to come. Thank you.
And we are back. Evidently, this is the first time we've done this. So evidently, you guys can't hear Will Rooney as I fight with my.
We've done it live like this.
Yeah, I mean, and we never had any problems. So we do it every morning. So
We do it, but when we're doing it, you know, for premiere later. So that's why it's different.
I don't know, but you're definitely on. So can they hear us on YouTube? Maybe the answer. Maybe the answer is just moving over to YouTube, and at the same time, going ahead and subscribing to the channel. I think that would be awesome. I don't know, but talk, Will, because I'm listening. You're definitely on. So can they hear us on YouTube? Maybe the answer. No, they can't hear you on YouTube either. Maybe the answer. So I don't know what the heck. We've given it the baseball try. Everything is on the board on that channel. So,
I have another way for me to be on. You know, the way we normally do for the show.
Yeah.
Open that up.
So bear with us. Open Qgo.
Yeah.
All right. So hang with us. This is trial and error. But at least they got.
Now they should have me.
Wait, I don't think is it up now? Go ahead, talk.
I can hear myself like coming back like 6 times, but yeah.
All right. So if I take you out of audio on prod, that should take care of the problem. Correct?
I think so.
All right.
Somewhat.
All right.
Yeah, we're a little better.
All right. God bless America. I'm done.
We don't have anything else to play on YouTube, so you can turn those other 2 mics off.
So the other 2. Cool. But anyway, if you at least you got to hear the governor and what she had to say, that she's cleaning up that dirty industry that provides 43% of income to the state, revenue to the state. We're going to do away with that. Okay. How are we going to replace it? We don't know. They're going to sprinkle pixie dust and bam, it's going to be all good. It's going to be good. It's going to be a great thing. It really is. So thank you, Governor, for that. And by the way, Governor, thank you for the day of prayer. Posting something up on Facebook about the day of prayer. That's awesome.
Oh, wait a minute.
We appreciate it.
No, she didn't.
Whew. I'm going, what a cluster. Serious. What a cluster.
We
Teacher
can't pander to the
mistakes
Christians who are
cell
way
phone
bigger population.
for a gun, prompting a lockdown at Tony Hillerman Middle School. And what it was, one kid pointed the cell phone at the other kid, and they mistook it for a gun. And I remember a lot of liberals saying, well, how can a police mistake a gun for a taser? Leading us to ask, how can you mistake a cell phone for a gun? Unless it was a flip phone. Unless it was one of those Obama phones. That could be a little different. The Obama phone. That could be a lot different. So are we good, Will?
For the most part, I don't know if you're hearing the echo I'm hearing, but it sounds good on YouTube and Facebook.
To make sure we were good.
Can you not hear me?
Looks like on Thursday, former congressional candidate, then the 3rd District Republican, the congressional district there, Republican Alexis Martinez Johnson has announced that she is running for mayor of Santa Fe, which is pretty cool because if she goes on and wins, this will be the first really Republican. And she did really, really well when she ran for Congress. And of course, that race, the Republican, the national Republicans, and even the GOP in New Mexico was really pushing hard. The PACs were pushing hard for Karen. Help me out with the name, if you would. I don't want to. I've been through a lot of stuff.
Do you have my mic on?
You ain't got no mic now?
No, you don't have it on.
Well, what the heck happened?
I can hear myself coming back. So
No,
I'm
I
going
can't
somehow.
hear. Oh, let me put you on program. That's why. Can you hear me?
You got me now?
Oh, God bless America. So help me with the name. I don't
Bidoni.
I don't want the problems that I've had all week long called a liberal. And really, look, my name has been drugged through the mud this last week. If Republicans attack Democrats in the same way, I'm going to be honest. I've been slaying Democrats for a number of years. I have never been attacked by a Democrat in the way I've been attacked this week. Never.
That's pretty bad, saying that the Republicans are more vicious.
No,
That's
no,
surprising.
they are. And there are a bunch of little snowflake Republicans, too, that just melt because I mispronounced somebody's name.
Well, we've been called liberals because of mispronouncing.
My
That's
character has been
That's
assassinated. Just because of a mispronunciation of a name.
It's Bidoni.
Yeah.
Just so we know.
Yeah, my name has been drugged through the mud, and that's okay. That's okay because I know what I stand for. I know who I am. My last name is Bonner, and I can't tell you how many times I've been called Boner. I don't get upset. I laugh it off. I make a joke. But Alexa, she beat Karen in that runoff race, and the thing about it was she won 40% of that northern New Mexico congressional district. Just serious. I mean, which I think she's an up and comer. I think if she serves maybe mayor of Santa Fe, if she wins that race, and then she can move up to maybe governor or maybe re-enter the congressional race after she makes a name for herself. So I had the opportunity to talk to her campaign director today, and he very smart individual, and she's really young. And so I think she has the opportunity to be, she won 41% of that district. And we know that, that area is Democratic stronghold. To win 41% is that's pretty good. That really is pretty good. So, so she is Native American and Hispanic. So I think that's a great opportunity for the Republican Party to embrace her. If she wins that, move her up the ladder. All right.
Take the mayor of Santa Fe.
Yeah. If she wins the mayor of Santa Fe, and we'll see where that goes. That is really a liberal stronghold, though. That's tough going. I mean,
it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, you're going into the belly of the beast for sure. All right. Well, comments. What are your questions? Comments. What we got so far?
Our buddy Rodney Standard said good evening, and then several of them were talking about how they couldn't hear us, but we're good now. Donnie Smith said, hey, what's up? And then Boyd was on there too. Alfred said, hey. Of course, our buddy Larry was joining us, and appreciate him joining in as usual.
So the governor continues to give sweetheart deals. Now, I don't know if these are like sweethearts or it's just a deal, but New Mexicans are still suffering in this embattled pandemic when it comes to the economy. And Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham is she's locked us down. Look, state offices are still unopened. State offices are still closed. The DMV is problematic. I mean, unemployment. I mean, the list goes on and on. But here's a sweetheart deal that the governor given more raises. Yeah. So looks like, according to one report, Justin Gorlet, a special assistant to the New Mexico Environmental Secretary, James Kinney, has been giving a $32,000 raise. $32,000. Who gets a $32,000 raise and bumping his salary up to $87,000 for a 40-hour week? By the way, that's a 58% increase. And wow, that's pretty stout. That is pretty stout when somebody gets a 58% raise, especially at a time where people are suffering. People are being laid off. I mean, come on.
We have record unemployment. We have people that still haven't gotten their jobs back in this state. I mean, other states are going back to work full time, and yet there's still places in New Mexico that can't go back. Port Chaves County is still yellow and is still got some form of lockdown.
Yeah. So
obviously Turquoise is not fully open.
To give a 58% increase in pay is crazy. So Garrett Garut, special assistant to the New Mexico environmental secretary. Congratulations. 58% increase. You scored a $32,000 raise from the governor.
You must have been
Wow.
doing a hell of a job, let me say.
I don't know if there was any groping going on, but man, that's a hell of a deal. I'm just saying.
There almost had to be.
I don't know.
Somebody was stroking somebody.
That's a hell of a deal when you're going to get a 58% increase. I mean, most people. I mean, how do other state workers feel about this? I've never thought about that, but how do other state workers get? Because they get like what, a 5% bump, maybe 2%
pissed.
bump. I would be pissed. I would be pissed that they're, systematically deciding who makes money and who doesn't make money. That doesn't seem right to me. And so the governor gives him a 58% increase in pay. Wow. Good job. I don't know what you're doing, but keep on keeping on. That's for dang sure. What else we got, Will? Any comments, questions?
No, Larry just said, "Hey, what's up, guys?" So, what's up, gentlemen?
I will.
That's pretty much it.
And by the way, I answer the hard questions if you would like. I will.
Yeah, if you guys want to shoot us a question on Facebook or YouTube, feel free. We'll answer up.
We'll do our best to answer it. I love when the Democrats eat the Democrats. This is a awesome story. On Tuesday, it was reported that State Senator Jacob Candelaria, a Democrat from Bernalillo, who has been in a lot of, middle of a lot of stuff. And
a lot of drama.
Has alienated both the Democrats and the Republicans and is now planning to sue Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham. Golden boy, you're a falling from the graces. Yeah, and the health secretary, Tracy Collins. He's going to sue both of them over what he describes as retaliation over for his inspection of public records. He did a PRA request, and Collins filed the ethics complaint in March against Candelaria, saying he violated the State Government Conduct Act by voting on a bill during the 60-day session that he actually represents a company that will be directly affected by that legislation. So me personally, I love when they butt heads like that. So we'll see what happens when it goes to court. And
well, wasn't David Gallego saying some fairly nice things about him this morning?
Well, he said he's very passionate, and they don't always agree, but he does bring passion, and I have seen that. I remember, but let me tell you, if somebody threatens you now, you will not be able to drop the governor's name to state police. I will call the governor. You will not.
Not only that, I mean, but the way you want to defund the police. Good luck getting them to come to your house anymore.
Thank you, William Rooney. Thank you for that. Thank you. So, I mean, Jacob's been involved in a lot of issues where, there was one lady that said something about these people are bitching, and he was there. So,
he immediately made it about
him being
homosexual.
Gay. Yeah. So. Yep. By the way, Jacob, it wasn't about you being gay. It was about the whole thing where, people are just.
I said he was right in the middle of the drama earlier. Did that mean did that have something to do with him being gay, or the fact that he's just a drama queen? Oh no,
no, you didn't use the word queen, so you're fine.
No, I didn't. I didn't until just now.
You're fine. Democrat State Representative Melody Stansbury is currently running for Congress in the 1st District of New Mexico. So she's running against Mark Moore and Mark Moores, and they had their first debate. And I heard Mark Moores did really well in that debate. Moores, of course, is the Republican candidate. And so if she wins, if Stansbury wins, that is going to open up, her position, her representative position. So, by the way, if that happens, that say Mark Moores wins that seat, boy, that's going to put the kibosh a little bit more on Nancy Pelosi, because that would level the playing field just a tad. But one individual that has expressed interest in her seat, 28th House seat, is a sex offender. I mean, a sex worker. Worked as the Jelly Shot girl. Her name is Bunny Bennett Cruz, also known as the woman that goes and reads to kids. And under normal circumstances, I'd have that, but that's reading the kids, transvestites reading the kids. So at libraries, and that was drag. They called it drag queen story time. So,
Yeah, because that's healthy.
yeah, drag queen story time, and
That's
so,
not confusing to little kids at all.
no. So she'll run for that. She'll run for that program. If
Mommy, why does that lady have such a deep voice
I don't know, does she? Why does
and,
she have
and
that?
facial hair?
Why does she have that Adam's apple? I'm just kind of worried about the Adam's apple. Oh, and so I was just kind of like, wow, what the heck's going on with this? But you know, something that I left out of the story about Mr. Garut, the guy that got the big raise. He describes himself as a genderqueer gay person. He previously worked as a actor in the porn industry. Worked on a porn
Yeah, because
actor.
that's the
turned-
people.
oh,
That's
no,
the
no,
kind
no.
of person I want reading to my kids.
Wait, no. I went back to the guy that got the raise. He formerly
Oh.
worked on the porn actor turned New Mexico State Representative Roger Montoya's campaign.
So this is the guy in the government that works for the environment that just got the raise.
Yeah. Yeah, he worked on the campaign of the guy that worked in the porn industry. So he was the lead guy in the porn industry. That was backing the guy that worked in the porn industry. So we got transvestite, we got some porn going on, we got a lot of things going on in New Mexico. Tell you what, these Democrats got a lot of stuff going on. Unbelievable. President's drought, persistent drought makes New Mexico parks shut down all boat ramps. So we've got a problem. We knew Elephant Butte had major problems. And so now the New Mexico reservoirs are shrinking because of the drought. And officials at the State Parks Division today they've been forced to close boat ramps throughout the state as a result of that. So with water levels so down, they have decided to shut all of that down. Our number, see, I'm about to give the phone number.
What we're used to do in the morning show where we're live.
I'm about
and
to give the phone.
We can tell the difference.
I've been up way too long.
So Larry off of YouTube says he must be doing things under the desk. LOL.
You're doing some Monica Lewinsky type stuff.
And Rod had said that was hilarious, but I'm not sure, Larry, if he had sent a message to us about state police, but I'm waiting to get that in. So I'll talk about whatever it was. I did see that he had sent us a group invitation for the New Mexicans. What is it? It's a private group, New Mexicans Against Excessive Quarantine on Facebook.
Man, I mean, how long has this been going on? It was it March of 2020 when we started the lockdown. Yeah, March of 2020, because the kiddos got out of school, right? Is that right? Yeah, I think I'm right on that. So it's been going on for a long time, and there's only a handful of states. I mean, when New York City is opening up, I think it's time for us to open up and
What
do
was the
away
initial
with this.
thing? 14 days to slow the spread.
Yeah,
14 days turns into
right.
14 months.
Yeah, I mean, be done with this color coded stuff too. That's pretty sad that we're worried about colors. And poor Chaves County, that what's remarkable is the 3 counties that are now yellow are all Republican strongholds. I wonder if that has anything to do with it. But Chaves County, poor Chaves County, they can't. And what the governor doesn't understand, because she probably never run a business in her life, is that you have to plan out your business, and to keep shutting stuff down, that's brutal. That is brutal. And, I saw in Albuquerque, a lot of restaurants were pushing back from this, and some of them have gotten their license revoked, and they in turn were operating without a license. State police were visiting them this week. And so that can't be good. That can't be good.
The state of New Mexico, the New Mexico Department of Health is throwing a ton of money. In fact, they're even throwing some our way on our station that we do the morning show on. We're going to be doing a promotion paid for by the New Mexico Department of Health that is basically going to ask for people's stories who've gotten their vaccination and giving them gift cards from local COVID safe restaurants.
The formula the governor is using to open up these counties is it's also tied into how many people get the vaccine. So you got how many cases, how many people got the vaccine. It's a formula they use. And, there's a lot of people, and I think that's very personal. They don't want the vaccine. And I don't think we should force people that don't want the vaccine to get the vaccine.
Ron on YouTube basically echoes that. He said, it really pisses me off that the governor's using this to strong arm people to get the vaccine in Chaves County. That should be their choice.
Yeah, I mean, here you go. Roswell High basketball team was playing in the playoffs, and they couldn't have parents in the stands. And, there's a lot of people were saying, well, why don't you move the game somewhere else? And, basketball is a little different than football to me. I mean, home field advantage, but home court is very important because you want to shoot on the same rims, throughout the year. So that's a whole different deal. But the governor is using this as a power control tool, nothing else. I was in Texas today. I walked into the doctor's office. Now, this is the doctor's office. Nobody's wearing a mask.
At the doctor? Wow.
At the doctor's office. Nobody was wearing a mask. And
I still have to wear a mask for dialysis every day. And I've asked them a couple of times, like, hey, look, all these high-risk people have been vaccinated. Are we ever going to be able to not wear the mask?
So I even walked in. I said, thank God I'm in the state of the free. They go, what are you talking about? I came from New Mexico. We're still mandating mask wearing and everything. The governor's still locking a lot of stuff down. And they just laugh. But, so now we're getting laughed at. So,
oh, well, we've been being laughed at for a while.
Looks like a new survey posted about mask wearing and social distancing and vaccines and all that. New study posted by KRQE News 13 is gauging how people are feeling about masks, vaccinations, and the state and all of that stuff. According to health officials have said that New Mexico could fully open by the end of June if the state reaches the goal of 60% of eligible New Mexicans getting the vaccine. So they tried to look at this in a different way. And they surveyed 1,000 people and asked how they feel about the vaccine, about mask, and so on and so forth. And a lot of people said that they're still wearing a mask. And look, if you go to Albuquerque, I guarantee you that they're wearing a mask. No doubt about that. 63% of people said they would feel comfortable going out in public without a mask. 63%. And I guarantee you most of these were polled up in the northern end of the state. 63% said they would feel safe.
Hey, look, even the people who were semi-advocates for some of this stuff, for some of these lockdowns, are sick of it by now.
Yeah, they're changing their mind. They're changing. I had a buddy of mine that started dating a girl, and she had the mask on the whole time, and didn't realize, fully what she looked like.
Oh my God. Was that a rude awakening or what?
It was. And he was, so, man. And the other thing, body language. You look at somebody's body language and how they talk to you and that type of, well, with a mask on, you can't see that.
Can't see a lot of it.
You can't see you can't see a lot of the body language. You can't see if they're smiling or snickering or whatever. So, New Mexico is going to stop charging taxes on a limited amount of medical marijuana, beginning to revise the current limits on pot cultivation. That's going to start June 29th, and the first step towards legalizing recreational marijuana. I was wondering about this because these these dispensaries, the medical dispensaries, have invested a lot of money. How are they going to play a part in this recreational? And are we going to move away from medical marijuana? I don't know the answer to that. I do not know the answer to that.
Well, I mean, if you can get it legally, what's the need for getting it by prescription?
Is it going to
Unless
kill that off?
you have some insurance that pays for it. I don't know. Does insurance pay for medical marijuana?
No insurance. I will say this: workers' comp insurance in New Mexico was taken to the Supreme Court of New Mexico, and they won that case that if you have a medical card, they have to pay for it. Yeah, that case was won several years ago. So this is kind of changing the way things are going to be done, and we'll see where this goes with the medical marijuana. And there's a lot of people think that, well, there's a difference between medical marijuana and recreational marijuana. THC is THC.
Larry on YouTube says that they didn't ask me. I haven't worn a mask since day one, and I haven't complied at all yet.
You rebel without a cause.
So what?
Yeah,
we got.
I fought the whole mask thing. And look, I got the coronavirus. I live to tell the story. I've got the vaccination. A lot of people, well, why would you get the vaccination? So I can travel. So I can go to other countries. That's my only reason. No other reason but that.
Well, and I mean, it's going to be one of those things with these vaccination passports. You're going to have to do eventually for some of these folks.
You're going to have to get it. And, they're already saying some of these vaccinations, you're going to have to get a booster. So that could be happening next year, that you'll have to get a booster. And I'm just like, okay, when will this end? Hopefully soon. I had questions this morning. Got one more story before I get to that about the balloon festival. But if you got something you want to talk about, boy, I tell you what, Roswell has had a tough row. They really, really have, with shootings and everything that was going on.
All the violence.
But this week, they've kind of got a little reprieve from that, which is good. Talked to a friend of mine a couple of days ago, and they said gun sales in Roswell are through the roof. And look, I'll be the first to say, we had County Commissioner Will Kavanaugh from Chaves County, and he said, this is not a Roswell problem. This is not a Chaves County. He's right. We've had our fair share of problems here in Lee County, and don't even get me started about Albuquerque. But if you look at Los Angeles, Chicago, Baltimore, some of those violent crime rates are up 300, 400% over last year. I think people are tired. I think that's part of it.
Well, and the more we defund the police, and the more we devalue our police departments, and make not only that, but demoralize these folks who are putting their lives on the line for us, they're going to just, give us the bird and say, we're out of here. We're not going to do this anymore.
No, and I mean, look at the police departments that have been decimated with retirement, or either, people going in and resigning. Who wants to put up with maybe a chance to go to prison? And by the way, the Derek Chauvin case looks like it could get a retrial, because one juror didn't really tell the truth when it came to if he had an opinion or not.
One juror that we know of, but these jurors were never sequestered. There were lots of things that they should have done. I mean, this case was tried and won in the court of public opinion.
It was
well before they ever set foot inside the courthouse.
And another juror said that she was scared for her family and herself if she would have not convicted the police officer. So
I'm sure
that says it all. That says it all. If you're scared for your life, if you fear for your life, I would think they got to get him. They got to give him another trial. I would hope. We'll see where it goes. What else is going on, Will?
That seems to be it at the moment.
Hey, it looks like the Albuquerque International Balloon Festival is considered one of the most photographed events in the world. And no surprise, they have partnered with Canon several years ago as the official sponsor, because it is one of the most, photographed events in the world. And evidently, they've got some issues now. According to a recent lawsuit that was filed, the camera company in the States' premier event have had a bad breakup. The breakup, indeed, according to KOT, said that you have Canon with one hand saying, "Hey, we partnered a $250,000 to sponsor Balloon Fest, and then you didn't have it, and we want our money back."
Sure.
And the state's going, "Well, it wasn't because we didn't want to have it,
Well, it
but
doesn't matter.
and you're not getting your money back." So
Wow.
we'll see where this dispute goes. But I would think if they didn't have it, Canon gets their money back, unless it's in the
That would be the
contract.
honorable thing to do.
Unless it's in the contract, and usually the contracts are written about weather, not written about a pandemic. Nobody would have thought that far in advance that we would have a pandemic. So, honorable thing to do. You didn't have it, you didn't provide, and give them their money back. And going down the road, maybe you can secure them for a longer contract. I don't know.
You would think that they would want to do that, like you said, just in interest of having future business.
Right. Secure them for a long-term contract and give them their mill back and go down the road. But I guess the state doesn't work that way. That would be the honorable thing to do, is say,
Well,
look, we understand we didn't have the event. We didn't provide the exposure to you, because that's all Canon wants, is the exposure. So we didn't provide that to you. We'll give you the $1 million back. Well, let's negotiate a long-term contract and maybe put a addendum in there that says, in the event of a pandemic, you're not going to get your $1 million back, whatever.
well, we know people north of I-40 don't always do
Yeah.
things the legitimate way.
No. So I'm still kind of shook up about the guy getting a 58% raise.
Larry says if it'll never end until the people of the USA stand up to the politicians and overthrow this government. So, well, there's ways to do that. And the way we need to do that is by voting these losers and these corrupt politicians out of office. And I mean all of them. I don't mean just the Democrats. I mean, these Republicans that are corrupt, that are part of the swamp, need to be gone too.
And you know what? The Republicans like Mitch McConnell, not a big fan of him, and
Mitt Romney,
and
Liz
Mitt
Cheney.
Romney, and so on, and Liz Cheney, and the list goes on and on. They're, I ain't got time for those folks either. So, but God bless you guys. We appreciate you listening on the National Day of Prayer. And too bad that the governor didn't post something up about it, and too bad that Joe Biden, our president, didn't see the need to mention God's name as he spoke. I find that sad.
That's a pretty glaring omission, if you ask me.
I find that, and in the meantime, he's supposedly a Christian.
I think supposedly is the key
that
thing right there.
probably is the term. So, all right,
Because how can you be a Christian and be for abortion?
but knowing Joe, maybe it's just a mistake. Maybe he
just forgot.
He just forgot.
He just forgot God's
just
name.
forgot. So, God bless
I
you
can see
guys. I hope you have a awesome weekend. We'll see you back Monday for the national edition of Two Bald Guys on the Right. By the way, I have a great clip already from Kamala Harris talking about our immigration problems that you just got to watch. And please subscribe to YouTube if you would. We'd appreciate that.
We would, for sure. And don't forget to go over and check out our audio versions of our podcast. You can find them at Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, anywhere you listen to a podcast. We're there too. Two Bald Guys on the Right. We appreciate you guys, and we'll talk to you again on Monday.
Amen.